What is going on, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me. I had to swap to. I had no mic. My mic wasn't working. My speakers aren't working. So hopefully this is going to work. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Oh my gosh, hear you just fine. Thanks. Thank that Tom and Lori. Hi guys. Wow, it has been a week. I am not in Kansas anymore. Actually, I was never in Kansas. But I am in Grants, New Mexico at Joe Steen's. I don't know who Joe Steen. Joe Steen's campground, and nice campground. It's a free campground in Grants, just south of Grants by about 15-20 miles. Guys, I went looking for propane today, and I did not have a lot of time for editing, as much time as I would have liked. I ended up spending the whole day in town. Did you know that New Mexico doesn't sell propane? Go figure. I don't know. I could not find propane anywhere. So we're going to try it again tomorrow, but hopefully I can stay here a little bit longer. If I can, I'm out of propane. So if I can't find propane, I gotta get rolling here. Gotta. But how are you guys doing? This is a continuation of last week. I gotta I haven't. Hmm. There we go. Now we're better. Now we're better. I should say, welcome to Happy Hour Live. I'm, I'm a little discombobulated. If it can go wrong, it has gone wrong. All the way up until like literally 5 minutes ago, and trying to set everything and getting ready to go live. And I could not, I did not have some. What's that? No, it's okay. I'm on live on YouTube. So, yeah, yeah.
We have another friend with a trailer,
Okay.
and it appears this whole loop is full.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there other places you'd recommend, or can we pull over on just the side?
The host site as you first come in, was anybody in there?
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah, they're the big solar panels are right there.
Okay, okay.
And I was able to pull in there the first night, even though there was a cute little couple in there. And I just went and said, can I use this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
did anybody else ask you
no, nobody has. No, yeah, it fills up, and it seems like better to get here in the morning. All right. Good luck. Sorry about that. You never know. It's live. You never know what's going to happen. But anyway, so if it can go wrong, it did, and I am using these right here to both hear and talk to you guys. Hopefully, we can make it through. Uh, this live is brought to you by who makes the booster? The Wilson booster, because I can tell you that sitting up here at the top of the hill at Joe Skeens campground, I had no signal. I was just talking to a gal. She was looking for a site, and they're all filled up in there, and they usually do towards the evening time. But literally 200 yards down the way, it didn't matter whether I had a booster or not. I could not get out, and but I this site opened up yesterday, and I'm gonna move up there. We boost. Thank you there, Don. We boost. And I moved up here yesterday and clicked on the We boost, and I have signal. Ta-da! The angels sang, and we have internet. So we're going to see if we can't pull it off. We've got fantasy football. We're going to cover that real quick. We're going to talk about Breaking Bad again, because on my way out of Albuquerque, um, guys, I told you last week I thought I found a filming location, and I did confirm that. And as soon as I confirmed it, I wanted to get back out there again, and we did find some stuff that I have. It's show and tell day. I'm going to share with you, and I'll show you what I found. It's pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. So let me say hi to everybody real quick, and then we'll kick this thing on. Cowboy Biker Adventures right there from Hadley, Massachusetts. How you doing, Don? Tom and Lori, RV Life is in the house. They were second runner up right there. Glad to have you here, guys. X Fired Up, Cracker Box Palace. I think that's the first name I've gotten his whole name all the way without messing it up the first time. How you doing, Bill? Glad to have you here. Kimberly KJ is here. Glad to have you. Hey, there's Justin and Christina's RV Van Life. Glad to have you guys here. Okay. Yeah, I am not in Albuquerque anymore. We're out of the balloons. I do have a lot of balloon footage. I also did tour around and saw a bunch of some old Breaking Bad sites, but some new. But this one was the one that I got the most excited about. Let's go ahead and if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, um, you should recognize most of this area. I know I did when I got up there. If you have never watched the series, but you hope to watch the series, I'm going to try not to do any spoilers in talking. And if I do on camera, remember a lot of this is unedited, and so when I do go to set this up and put it out, I'm going to try to make sure that I don't put any spoilers or say anything wrong. Just in case, if you haven't seen it, I recommend. I liked it a lot. So all right, let's kick this thing off whatever way it is. Let's do this. What is going on, guys? Okay, so right over here is where they got the RV stuck. And that is the road that Walter came out walking on. I have pants on. This doesn't work. I have pants on. I have pants on. This is the first cook site. See if I can find it. Okay, so I did move the truck just so I can get it out of the way. And you may be wondering why I marked all these off. I'm going after movie artifacts. Gonna see if I can find anything related to the movie or to the show, I should say. And what I want to do is sweep around here, and I'm going to mark where I found everything. And that's why it's important to know where the actors were, where the cars were, and have some idea of where they came from. If I find something. Place has been pretty cleaned up, but I will tell you that, and at some point I'll be finding little blue chips of paint, just to give you a little sneak peek. And as to how I knew this was the movie set, I didn't know for sure until I got home and checked the footage. All right, guys. So, get back on there. Come on. There we go. I did find something, and I will tell you that in Albuquerque, I even made a little drug buy. Well, it in the movie, the meth that they made was blue, and all of the meth was not cooked by Heisenberg himself. All of it was cooked by the candy lady. It's actually not bad. I don't know if I need a whole bag of it, but it's okay. Oh my gosh. But last week I showed you a couple of things that I did find. The first time that I went out there was a week and a half ago, before that, and I found a whole bunch of change that was dropped all in one area. And I have gone over the footage, and I have there were like 3 actors that were in that area. This, I swear, dumped out of one of their pockets. And I couldn't tell you which. I have gone over the footage and I have looked at it, and I did, when I went back out there, I kind of looked at where I found the change, and literally this all dumped out of somebody's pocket, and it was just like this, about 6 inches down in the dirt. And I cannot tell you who. I make some guesses in the video, but I can't tell you who. That was about about 4, 5, maybe 6 inches underneath the top of the soil. So it was fairly buried. But the other thing that I said last week that I found were these little blue chips of paint. And I don't know, we managed to pull it off. I see we don't have the sunlight to really help us, but these little blue chips of paint, I was able to go back over. Oh, here's a bigger one. Yeah, I've got a few. Let's see. I've watched the scene now and discovered that Hank and Gomez showed up in a blue blazer. It was this color, guys. And these were the bullet pops off of that were buried underneath the paint. And you can find these little chips of paint scattered all around in that area. And you also had a lot of glass. There was black glass and clear glass, which right there, which I discovered the black glass was the rear window, and then the side windows, they popped those as well. I found some other stuff though, but this is going to lead us into our next video. Let me go ahead and put it up there because I'm excited to show you. So hang on, guys. Let me put it on up there. All right, guys. So right to the left of the blue car, up on the road up here, and I got my first hit, and I'm almost certain this area is kind of hitting all over. Let me dig it out here a little bit. Well, still deep. There it is. And what that is a target. Excuse me, not a target. And what that is a blank round. You can see the crimp on the top. There's no actual bullet in it. It's a blank round. And I'm assuming it is a rifle. 9 millimeter. It says 9 millimeter. Maybe that's a 9 millimeter blank. I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's see if there's any more here. Oh yeah. Let's keep trying. No, I don't have a pinpointer. That's 6 inches down in this one particular spot. I got anything in there? No, I think the camera is getting too close. Oh, pinpointer would be nice for this. It's right about there. Yep, there it is, right there. Here's another one, guys. All right. That's 2. That's 2. Again, right to the left of the blue car here. There's probably more here, but let's go see if we can try a different area. That's just my shovel getting in the way there. All right, let's go see if we can find a different area and try that. All right, guys, there you go. Yeah, you either like it or you don't. That show, you know, a lot of people were put off because of the drug aspect of it, but it was an interesting story nonetheless. And I saw Kimberly KJ says, now I'm going to have to go watch this Breaking Bad show. So, yeah, there you go. I didn't think that I would like it, and because of the drug aspect of it. And I tell you what, I got hooked. And unfortunately, I was only at season 2 when I started watching it. So I was able to binge the first 2 seasons. And then after that, I have to tell you, it was agonizing waiting each week for the next one, let alone the next season. And you had to go, because this spanned 5 seasons. Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal. But I saw that Justin Christina said, yeah, it's just a shell casing. But if you look at the crimps on the front, these are blank cartridges, and I don't know if you can actually make it out. It's 8 millimeter. It's specifically made smaller, um, so that you can't load a 9 millimeter round into it, or a 380. Uh, this this top here is normally crimped over into a flower on top, basically holding all the powder inside. And a lot of your movie prop guns are 8 millimeter. Um, so, it's funny. We've recently heard in the news. I don't remember who that actor was. Baldwin, that shot the producer. Um, there's a reason why they use off size on their for television and movies, and that's so that live rounds couldn't be introduced into the situation. Unfortunately, when you get into older movies where they're using more guns that are harder to find, they tend to find the real ones, or maybe the prop guns haven't been made or don't look old enough, whatever the case may be. And obviously accidents can happen. So, but yeah, there you go. I can tell you, there's more of these up there. There's more of these up there, but I didn't need to. I found two. I found two. That's good enough. I'll leave some for somebody else if they want to go up there and hunt for them. I basically was up there for about 2 hours, and didn't do too bad. Didn't do too bad. I did find another thing here. Now that this goes along with the blue paint. If you watch the gunfight at that took place out here, the they bury. You can see the real fine wire. They basically dimple the car fenders and bury an explosive charge inside of that little dimple, and then they go over the top of it with Bondo, a real fine Bondo and automotive paint, and then they can set these charges off, emulating bullet holes. And this was also one of my finds out there. Um, oh, better late than never. Indiana deer hunting. Oh, yeah, glad to have you here, Mark Chair. Are you seeing anything? It is hunting season. It's yeah, I think for Oregon, the season goes the first Saturday of the month all the way through the month of October. So, but that and the bullet were the coolest finds. Everything else, there was a lot of junk out there. And again, the stack of change, I know that belongs to one of the actors. Unfortunately, there were 3 actors that were basically down in that area on for shooting, and couldn't tell you which. I make some guesses, but they're only guesses, because they're everybody's so close there. But um, got up here to, this is Joe Skeen's campground, just south of Grants, New Mexico. Left here or left Albuquerque a few days ago. I was all done with the balloons, and I was really anxious to get out there by this filming site, and so managed to go out there, stayed overnight real close to it, and then went out the next day and got to do a little hunting of my own. So I got up here to Joe Skeen's campground, and you know the funny thing, guys, is I didn't realize it. I've been to this campground before, and I have only been through New Mexico a couple of times, but it was likely the last time that and the last balloon fiesta that leaving and heading towards Arizona, and I didn't realize it, but I got up here and drove around. It's a nice little campground. You can see the covered picnic tables, fire rings. It's a free campground. It tends to fill up. So I have noticed that each night it seems to fill up every night, and then every morning people pull out. But um, I it looked really familiar and then I finally made the loop all the way around it, and I realized that I had been to this campground before about 4 years ago. I didn't stay here then because all the spots were full. Excuse me. All the spots were full. There was no place to stay here, but I didn't leave a review on Campendium. I didn't. So I recognize this place, even though I didn't get to stay here before. So, that just goes to show you, traveling around the country, eventually you're going to come across places you've been before, other than the most familiar. And that was kind of cool, remembering that, yeah, I'd been here. I got here. So far I passed on a few, enjoying myself tremendously in my happy. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, market share. Good for you. Good for you. All right, guys. I need to say real quick, the internet has been, even though it is nice having internet, and I've been up here and I've been able to run Netflix, make phone calls and all that, something I literally couldn't do even with the booster about 200 yards down the hill here. Right where I'm at now, I'm up at the top of the hill here. And unfortunately, though, the internet does seem to go in and out. So if I lose you, we will just have to call it a night, because there's no telling when I'll be back on again. But let's see if we can't switch over to fantasy football real quick. And I'd like to congratulate uh, Cowboy Biker Adventures Don right off the gate. Don is, let's see if I can pull it up here. Don he is uh, undefeated. Let's see if we can get over to him here. Right there. That was week 5, 116 to 79 couch coach against Wayne. But if you look right over here, Don is 5-0. And that is a hell of a streak, Don. You're pulling it off. I don't know how, but that was as of last week. Hold on, because we're going to check this week and see how he's doing. But nothing is done until Tuesday morning, essentially after the Monday night game. So myself, I actually pulled it off against Miss Angela over there at Life with Letty. 164 to 152. And let's see if we can move on to Cindy, Flying Monkeys and Smoke Eaters. Howard, that is a family game right there. They both win, but 132 for Howard, pulling it off. Cowboy Biker Adventures, you saw his win, 116 to 79. And even at 116 isn't that big of a score, but you can see that his scoring just pretty much dominated the entire weekend. So good job going there, Don. Let's see here for the tailgate party. That is Miss Carrie against Don. Wandering Stars. That's Cosmic Mermaid and Starman's Wandering Stars. She takes the win. She is 4-1. And I think she is bringing up the number 3 spot right behind you and Gary, which will go right over here. Gary had a loss last week against Miss Tara, 137 to 113. But Gary is 4-1. He is actually second place in the rankings going into this week, and he is playing Dawn, the other Dawn, Cowboy Biker Adventures Dawn. So there's almost a Super Bowl game going on there. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that one. Let's see if we can go back here real quick. OE Live Crew, that is the team that Don and I are managing for the chat room here. And you guys pulled off the win this week. Look at that score, 205 to 136. That's Miss Jen, Sassy Pants. And let's see now. So win for Live Crew. And we're about 2 and 3 right now. I think that's about 7th in the rankings. But let's go and see how this week is doing real quick. OE Live Crew is pulling it off so far, 122 to 110. But Don still has some playtime left here. So looks like Live Crew is basically all done for the week. And it'll be up to Don. He looks like he just has a kicker. I don't know. I've seen higher scores, so Don's kicker could pull it off. We'll find out next week. Miss Tara doing 167 against Miss Jen, and she's about 2 and 3. She's 10th on the list right now, but it's still way early in the season to be guessing. I'm going to get up to Cowboy Biker Adventures here real quick, but there is mine. I am playing Miss Cindy, Flying Monkeys, and tight game. I am just about out of players. It looks like I am capped at 119, and looks like Miss Cindy still has some players to go, so I could be in trouble there. We will see. Life with Lenny and Wayne with not Cosmic Mermaid Starman, Wayne and Carrie, our Wayne WCRV Adventures is up against Miss Angela, Life with Lenny. And 139, Angela looks like she may be pulling off the win, but again, Wayne still has some playtime here, so you never know, but looking pretty good there. Smoke Eaters, there's Howard this week, 89 to Miss Carrie, WCRV Adventures, and both of you still have some playtime left here, so it could go either way. We will see. But the piece of de resistance, is that how they say that? Right here, Cowboy Biker Adventures, 5-0. Number 1, he is number 1 in the league right now, going up against Mr. Gary, and that is Gary is 4-1, and this is look at 142.54 is the projection. Over here on this side, 142.53. These two are in it to win it, and I don't know if we'll get to see who actually pulls this one off until next week. I'll have to share with you, and we'll see. But this is kind of the Super Bowl game right here. Don is trying to hold off his first loss, and Gary would love nothing more than to put Don in the hole there this week. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But let's go over the rankings real quick and see if we can give for the league as it stands right now. This is subject to change on Tuesday. Standings right now, we've got Don, Cowboy Biker Adventures, bringing it up at the top with Gary, Oblong Bomb Balls. That is RV Living Life. And here for the tailgate party, that is Miss Carrie, WCRV Adventures. And Dawn, Cosmic Mermaid and Starman's Dawn, bringing up the number 4 position with Howard, HC Carefree Highway, and Life with Lenny, Miss Angela, and there's OE Live Crew. We've got Wayne and myself. We're not even going to talk about how bad I am doing. It has been a rough season, guys. Just am not pulling it off. So there you go. We will see what this is going to turn into by Tuesday. So good luck to Don and Gary, and let's see if we can't. We'll find out if Don gets his first loss or if he manages to pull off. I see if he pulls off another win. We will just have to see. Boondocking with Boomers in the house. Glad to have you here. Oh, 20 degrees. No. Although it has been getting cold here. See, that's why I take my time getting to Arizona right there. That's why I take my time, because it's still hot down there. But I will say, I saw my first icicle of the season hanging off the bottom of the coach after I filled up with water leaving Albuquerque and stopped on the way to this location. Got up that morning, the day that I was going up there to the Breaking Bad location, and had a big long icicle right where the water overflow. Basically, it tells you that your water is full when you're filling it up. Well, it was dripping a little bit and had made a nice little icicle for me to see in the morning. And I thought, that's not good. It's not snow though. It's not snow. So there you go. I think that's it, guys. I feel like I'm pushing my luck with the live tonight. I don't want to push it too much because I'm afraid that I will get kicked off, and we are starting to lose our sun. Our sun is setting over that way. I don't know. Hopefully you guys caught I was up here for the I was up here for the eclipse. If you were in the right part of the country to catch the eclipse, good on you. I managed to do that, and yeah, it was yeah, it was meh. it, it was like wearing sunglasses. I mean, I had my little piece of paper. I was holding it up and I was looking at the shadow on the ground, and I could see where the eclipse was. You know, have you ever noticed that they tell you, oh, it's going to be 150 years before the next eclipse? Before the next eclipse happen, it's going to be 150 years. Isn't that what they said just about 2 years ago when I was up in Oregon and we had an eclipse then? And somehow here we're having another eclipse. And then I heard, oh, yeah, you know, it's going to be another 140 years before we have another eclipse. And I just read someplace else, they said April. We're supposed to have another eclipse in April. So if you miss this one, there's a rerun it's going to be back in theaters in April. Google your favorite location, wherever you're supposed to be, to catch the eclipse for April. I'm meh, meh. It's just meh. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Miss Jen is in the house. Glad to have you here. WCRV Adventures, they were at the eclipse. They actually took a rocket ride and went to the eclipse. No, April 8th will be, see, right there. We'll see. No, it'll be 21 years from now. And then the very next comment, no, it's April 8th. See, that I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. WCRV Adventure, that you were at the eclipse. Um, it and it's like a big. It goes across the whole, I don't know, section of the country. If you're outside of that section, then I guess you're not at the eclipse. So it's only showing in those theaters in this swatch across across the country. So late again, stuck in Fort Collins. That's a beautiful place to be stuck right there. I would take it. Although it's probably getting cold up there. Is it getting cold up there? It probably is. We did take a rocket. It was so cool. There you go. I think they're different types of eclipses. I don't know. I don't know. I every time that they yeah, there's lunar and there's solar and there's I think those are the only two. Am I wrong? Am I right? I don't know. We've only have one little moon that can get in the way of the sun or vice versa. And the shadow of the earth, I guess, on a lunar is the way that works. So I don't know. It's not 80%. I guess it was like a lot here. They've been talking about it for 3 weeks. Everywhere I go, people, did you know there's an eclipse happening? Literally, when I pulled into the campground here, they said, "Did you know there's an eclipse tomorrow? There's an eclipse tomorrow." Yeah, there's a yeah. I didn't put it down on my calendar. I didn't have to because I knew 10 people would tell me before I actually got there. So the morning comes, I get my coffee. I wonder what time the eclipse is. I walk outside and it looks like I've got my coffee in my hand. It looks like I have my sunglasses on. Yeah, it's the eclipse. So I had a special piece of paper, and I'll give you a hint. The only thing I had to do was poke a little itty bitty hole in it and then hold that paper just like so. Look at the shadow on the ground. You'll see the eclipse. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to burn your eyes up. You don't have to get out the welding goggles. You can just hold it right there. It'll show a little sun right down on the shadow and show you exactly where the moon is going across. True story, but you'll have to wait until April to test me on it. Um, Freezing in the morning. RV is in Cheyenne getting a new engine. Oh, Richard, I am so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. They call this one an annual. Wait a minute, let me see this. I think I heard it was called that because the moon was going to be smaller than the sun and creating a ring of fire around the moon. I did not look at it. I am not I did not look at it. I did see somebody snapped a picture and put it on Facebook or someplace, and it basically looked like a donut. It looked like a bright donut. You had the outer and then you had the inner and the whole, and it looked like a donut. So yeah, the moon must not have been, I don't know. Does the moon change in size? Apparently it must, and it wasn't big enough to apparently cover the whole sun. And I did hear that as well. So I'm right there with you. Did you do what I said? Did you look at it and went, yeah? I mean, is it a big deal to you guys? It wasn't. It wasn't to me. But I'd be curious if it was a big deal. Some people, it is like a spiritual thing. Um, Annual, aka Ring of Fire, partial and total. Yeah, Richard M's got the right idea. He just watched it on TV. There you go. A skinny donut. The picture that I saw, and I can't share it with you because I can't share pictures on here, but it looked like a donut. I don't know if it was even a skinny donut. It looked like it looked like an ad for Krispy Kreme. So there you go. All right, guys. I think we are going to wrap it up. I am going to be here. Well, you know what? I'll tell you how long I'm going to be here. I thought I was going to be here longer. I have a feeling I'm going to be here until I run out of propane. Right now, I'm just low. but it is looking like I'm going to have to drive to Arizona to get propane because apparently nobody sells propane in New Mexico. Oh, well, you got the glasses. Yeah, it was not spiritual. Enjoyed it. It was not spiritual. Yeah, I've got the glasses too. It looks a lot like a welding goggle. And the last time this happened a couple years ago, I looked like a goof sitting outside with my welding helmet on, looking up at the sun. It was not pretty. It was not pretty. So I didn't figure I would do that again. I wasn't going to do that again. But it was 90 in Cottonwood. Oh, please don't tell me that. That is where I'm going. See, and I don't want to get there too soon. The temps are perfect here. I seem to be planning this out perfectly as far as the temps go. So that is where I'm headed right there. And I decided not to do Roswell. I know last week we talked and I was a little undecided whether I was going to do Roswell or not. Roswell just added on another 400 miles to my month, and I don't really have the travel budget for it to add another 400 on and still be able to get over to reservations that are over there in Cottonwood. So try track. Oh my gosh, there you go. Now see, this is an experienced RVer, all right, and Tractor Supply always has propane. All right, guys, there's something about New Mexico because I've been by truck stops, travel centers, gas stations, cannot find an open propane, and nobody's selling it. Nobody's selling it, and the only thing that I can imagine is they have made the certification for selling propane so tough in New Mexico that truck stops, gas stations, and all that, they just said, you know what, we're going to skip that. We're just not going to do it. So it is tough finding it. You can still find the bottles at the exchange places, and that's where I found one today for my fire pit. I had to get it out of the exchange place. I was not able to refill it, and they had it at Walmart right there in Grants. So um, now, the funny thing is I went to Tractor Supply because there is a Tractor Supply. I know, just like Don knows, Tractor Supply has propane. I get over to Tractor Supply, and sure enough, in front, they have this beautiful tank. It is, I mean, all the equipment looks like it's never been used. And I go inside and I'm looking for a couple other things, and the gal says, "Can I help you with anything else?" I said, "Yeah, I need to get some propane before I leave." And she said, "Oh, we're not selling propane." And I said, "You're not selling propane?" "No, we're waiting for the certification from the state." My hand to God, that is what the gal told me. I don't know what it is. They were not. I said, "Is there some place?" I said, "I need to fill up my RV when I leave here." And she said, I'm an RVer as well. We always go to such and such place the next town up. I don't remember if it was Roberto's or some. She told me if I see it, I will know it. I'll remember it. It has a memorable name, but I just can't think of it right now. I am going to have to drive about 30 or 40 miles to get to the nearest place that can fill this coach up. And it is getting too cold not to have propane. So yeah, yeah. Can Tractor Supply? Most can, not all can. Can Tractor Supply fill a Class A tank? There, many of them can. They have their tank out in the front parking lot. Now it's hit or miss on whether you can weave through the cars with a motorhome to get into and up to it. I would recommend towards the end of the day um, rather than the bulk of the busy time of the day. But yeah, for the most part, they do. Not all, but for the most part, they do. Uh, I have Tractor Supply filled my Class A 2 days ago. Yeah, yeah. And Don, you and I know you normally Tractor Supply. You know, the other one is usually pretty good is U-Haul. Not all U-Hauls, but most U-Hauls, the bigger ones, have propane. So unfortunately, there's no U-Haul nearby. So um, yeah, don't count on false advertising. Yeah, that you know what? When you're out of propane, and correct me if I'm wrong, most people would say, I don't care how much it is, I need propane. So I've been there. I think the most that I've ever paid was $5.30 a gallon for it. And I just choose not to fill it. I will say, okay, give me 10 gallons, give me 20 gallons, and that will cover me until I can get to someplace cheaper. But 359, I probably wouldn't balk at that. But yeah, it depends on what state you are and how many taxes they have first. So no Loves up here. Do you know Loves? And that's the other one we know is Loves. And the I checked Loves. I checked the travel centers, truck stops, all the way over from coming out of Albuquerque to right here. And none of the travel centers, none of the truck stops have propane. So there you go. There you go. It is. They've just. My guess is they've just said, "I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it." Anyway, I think we're going to wrap this one up, guys. I'm so glad. See that? I this whole show. It went by so quickly, and I think I know why. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to do it that way. No. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Wait a minute. Who's got it last of the last word of the night? Okay, we're gonna give it. Wait, Stephanie issues for no. Yeah, I've heard that before too. X fired up. There we go. I think yeah, we're just gonna use that one. Have a good evening, everybody. Live life full time. I've got I've got a whole bag of stuff here. Uh, makes things go by really fast. All right.